Hi there, how's things? So, my name's Caolán Maguire. My G number is G00385433 at atu.ie. So this is a quick run through an introduction to what my PPIT project is. Essentially, as is in my project proposal on my GitHub and in my project submission, is I was involved with the Road Safety Authority, a small campaign with the Student Union and the RSA at the end of last year, Christmas last year, Christmas last year. And I got talking to one of the staff of the RSA, and we just got in a conversation about software and its responsibility in, or its possibility in helping ensure driver safety, driver awareness, competencies when you're driving, ensuring you're not drunk while you start a vehicle, and all this different stuff, and even then stuff like car insurance as well. How telematics are rewarding young drivers who are driving responsibly and different things. So I've been thinking about what project I was going to be doing at the time. We've been told to kind of think in the back of our heads for ideas for the next semester. So I had been thinking I wanted to do something with vehicles or telematics, and so I decided then instead to go down the computer vision route. So my project has essentially works by taking two cameras and is connected up to the car. It's a piece of software running on the computer connected to the car and connected to one web camera, and it also has its built-in web camera. One of the web cameras watches the driver's eyes to ensure that the driver has their eyes open while driving, of course. That's an important part of driving. If they have their eyes closed for more than 2 seconds, there'll be a beep and it will take what's called a penalty point on the software, obviously not like on your license or anything like that, but a penalty point on the system, and a counter will iterate. And also then it estimates where you're posing, where you're looking, so where your head is facing. So if your head, if this were the if this was the camera facing me, for example, now in relation, and this was perhaps in front of the camera's in front of me, and the car's, I'm facing at the front of the car. If my head were to look down, i.e., I was looking at my phone, or perhaps maybe I was becoming unconscious, that would also be a penalty. So it'd be a penalty if I was looking down for 2 seconds. If I was looking down for much longer, it could be taken as something more seriously. So, um, relatively two kind of problems that people that happen when people drive is strokes, people going unconscious, people falling asleep because of the heating in the car when they're driving at a low speed. Um, that this would address that. It would also address then phone usage, and it would try to deter phone usage, and indeed would deter people being getting drowsy kind of thing, and it would alert them hopefully before they would fall asleep that they were being drowsy and that they weren't being responsible. So that was the attempt at my project. I'm going to have a video now in a moment, demoing my project, walking through it, and show it in real time. So I hope you enjoy it. I put an awful lot of time and effort into it. We also have as well the software connected up to vehicles. So just obviously I can't demo this at the proposal, but we did actually purchase an OBD2 scanner. Essentially, if you ever go to the mechanics, if you have to go to the mechanics, they'll automatically nearly plug in one of these units into, usually it's under the steering wheel in the car, and they'll plug it into the car, and it'll give a rundown on the information, maybe fault codes and different into this. But you can also use this device to read the speed of the vehicle, to read the temperature of the engine, to read the fuel consumption, to read how much fuel is left in the tank. Basically, all the information to where the gear stick is, and your throttle as well. So we read this information back to ensure that we were actually paying attention when the driver was actually moving, rather than giving you all these penalty points maybe when you're sitting in traffic. So that was one of the things um my my project coordinator mentioned, Aaron. So I hope you enjoy it. Here is as well a video of me demonstrating this project. Thank you very much. Hi guys, how's things? So this is the demo of the software running. So in front of me I have the microcontroller to mimic the OBD2 scanner, so basically to mimic the accelerometer in the car. I have a camera over here that would be facing directly towards the driver's eyes, and then of course I have the built-in web camera. So here in the software, we have over here we have where the face pose estimation software is. It's analysed where I'm looking now. So obviously I'm looking straight ahead, so it's going to draw that on the map. So the position of the cameras matters a great deal. So obviously the camera being here, it's not getting the best feedback. But when we test it looking down on me, and I'll do that in the presentation, it's far more accurate. When I look over here at the accelerometer, if we look up to the screen, when I press on that accelerometer, it mimics the car moving. So obviously that's a great deal of fast movement. But up here in the top left, we have the traffic light system. So right now, obviously, we have 0 penalties. So we're green light, we're happy to go. If I just demo what the camera is actually seeing, you can essentially see a virtual mask put around me with a 3D pole coming out of my head. The end of that pole, I'm returned a set back with the 3D coordinates of where that pole is facing, so I can then use that to anticipate whether I'm looking down, looking right, looking left, looking up, looking down, or looking straight ahead. So over here as well, I'll move this camera up so it can see me. This camera, you just want to zoom in here, sir. This camera is for my to check if my eyes are closed. So if I close my eyes, you'll see a timer come up on the screen. Once that registers for more than 2 seconds, you'll see down here that it clocks in on the software. So if I close my eyes again, if you want to keep looking here, you'll see that it goes 2, do it again, and we get 3. So on this software here, this is checking how many times I looked down on my phone. So I can go 1. So that's me moving my head down, so it's like looking at the phone, and it's iterating up. So once we get a certain amount of these counted, the traffic light system over here will change. And this of course then is a bird's eye view looking down and drawing on the screen where it estimates the driver's looking. So that's the software, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to demo it in person. Thanks.